Well, Lisa, as we both know, and you probably do too, choosing a child care provider is a pretty big decision.
Yes, it is. It's a decision many parents have had to make. In a recent poll conducted by Angie's List, 19% of respondents said they use a child care service more than 3 days a week. Of those respondents, 36% use a daycare center, 12% use an in-home daycare.
Now, not only are you putting your complete trust in someone else, but also your child's well-being. So you want to make sure that your children are safe and secure when you drop them off. In today's Angie List report, how to find quality child care.
Ashley Willie is expecting a baby girl this October, and she started the search for a child care provider.
We have started searching for daycare options, and it is quite stressful. I've looked at in-home daycares, I've looked at church facilities, I've looked at daycare facilities, not really knowing yet what we're going to do. I've gotten quotes from all three, so we're still trying to make a decision.
Ashley is in a place where many parents have been, wanting to find the best child care provider out there. The earlier you start your search, the better off you may be.
About the time you're telling all your family members that you're expecting is really when you should start looking for childcare, because there's likely going to be a wait list. You also need to be prepared that you're probably going to have to give a deposit as well. So just know exactly what you have to do, but starting early is going to alleviate stress down the road.
Before you start calling around, Angie says create a list of qualifications you're looking for, sort of like a job description.
Before you start your search, you first just want to make a list of what's important to you in a child care provider, because there's lots of options. You could be at a center, you could be at an in-home, you could have a nanny coming to take care of your child. So you need to make a list of what's important to you, and then start looking for locations that will provide that.
Once you start the interview process, have your children there to see how the applicant interacts with them, and watch how your children react too. Make sure the provider's disciplinary actions are in line with your methods and that the adult-to-child ratio isn't too high.
Don't be afraid to have all your questions answered, and make multiple visits if necessary, because you want to be comfortable with your final decision.
Also, do your homework. You don't want to leave your child with a provider who isn't qualified.
In a recent Angie's List poll, 20% of the respondents didn't even check whether their child care provider was licensed or had the proper credentials. And that's something you must do.
Angie says it's also a good idea to make sure the child care provider is first aid and CPR certified and get the date of their last certification. Tips to keep your child safe while keeping mom and dad's minds at ease.
Now, also, Angie suggests parents have a backup plan just in case their provider gets ill or for some other reason can't care for the kids. Angie says this is especially important for family child care and in-home providers like nannies and babysitters.
And Jimmy, once parents have found quality child care, their job as parents is not finished. Angie's List suggests you stay involved and constantly assess your child care arrangement. For instance, spend a few minutes each day to talk with the caregiver about your child and ask your child what your child does that day. Also, Angie suggests parents drop in every once in a while to assess if the facility still meets their expectations. And finally, participate in activities so you really stay involved in the whole child care process. And when you visit the child care center, there are a few other things to watch out for. Angie says look for obvious signs that an establishment is safe and comfortable for children. Watch for any potential hazards. Also, observe children's overall mood and temperament. Do they seem happy and engaged? Are they being watched or ignored? And notice caregivers' appearance and attitude. Do they dress and act appropriately around children? Are they afraid to crawl on the floor and get their hands dirty? And finally, don't settle. If your search gets exhausting, don't settle on a provider until you are positively satisfied.
Very important.
Very, very important. Well, still ahead on Delmarva Life, what do you get when you mix water, speed, and a whole lot of fun? A great family getaway that doesn't take you off Delmarva. We have a look at some of the new attractions at Midway Speedway Park and Rehoboth Beach. And guess what? I got to try them out personally.
I think I know her. A little bit later on, the ads say you can now change your hem as often as you change your shoes. Are the style snaps really as easy as 1, 2, 3? We put them to the test. Delmarva Life will be right back.